I should have known something was wrong the moment I pulled into the driveway of 1247 Ash Lane. The house was perfect. Too perfect. White picket fence, manicured lawn that looked like it had been trimmed with scissors. Red brick facade that matched every other house on the street down to the exact shade of mortar. Cookie-cutter suburban dream. My 8-year-old daughter, Maya, bounced out of the passenger seat, her backpack covered in unicorn stickers hitting against her shoulders. "Mom, it looks just like the other houses," she said, and I remember thinking that should have been my first warning. I checked the GPS one more time before getting out. The blue dot sat exactly where we were, but the address read, "Location not found." Technology glitches, I told myself. Happens all the time. As I unloaded boxes from the Honda, I noticed a woman across the street watering her identical flower beds. She waved at me, then squinted at our house. Her smile faltered like someone had pulled a plug. She quickly looked away and hurried inside. That was Mrs. Chen from house number 3. She'd be the first to pretend we didn't exist. The moving truck arrived an hour later. 2 burly men in coveralls carried our couch through the front door, but they seemed nervous, constantly checking their phones. "Ma'am, what's the address again?" 1247 Ash Lane, house number 5. They exchanged glances. "GPS keeps saying there's no address here." "Well, you found it, didn't you?" "Yeah, guess so." They left our boxes on the lawn, said they'd come back for them, but they never did. That evening, Maya and I ate takeout Chinese food from paper containers in the sterile white kitchen. Maya traced patterns in her fried rice with her plastic fork. "Why didn't the pizza place deliver?" she asked. "They said they couldn't find the address." "But we're right here." Out of the mouths of babes. I walked to the window above the sink. Across the street, families were having dinner. Through their windows, I could see the warm glow of dining rooms, the silhouettes of people sharing meals. Normal life, happening just yards away from us. When I tucked Maya into bed that night, her room still mostly boxes with her stuffed animals arranged on the windowsill, she said something that made my skin crawl. "Mom, there's no mailbox outside." "What do you mean?" I looked. All the other houses have mailboxes, but ours doesn't. "I'll call the post office tomorrow," I promised. I did call. They said there was no 1247 Ash Lane in their system. I lay in bed that first night, staring at the ceiling. The house was too quiet. No settling sounds, no creaking floorboards, just silence that felt heavy, like it was pressing down on my chest. Through the window, I could see the other houses. Each one had a small brass number by the front door. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. But when I tried to see our number, it was like looking at it through water. The digits blurred and shifted every time I focused on them. I told myself it was just fatigue. New house, new stress. But deep down, I knew something was wrong. The next morning, I walked Maya to the bus stop. Other kids from the neighborhood were already waiting, their mothers chatting about PTA meetings and soccer practice. "Did you see the new family?" Mrs. Chen asked another mother. "What new family?" Mrs. Rodriguez replied. Mrs. Chen pointed directly at us. "Right there." Mrs. Rodriguez was looking confused, her eyes scanning the area where we stood. "I don't see anyone." Mrs. Rodriguez was looking right at us, right through us. The monthly HOA meeting was held in the community center, folding chairs arranged in a circle, coffee and store-bought cookies on a plastic table. I sat with Maya in the back row, trying to blend in. "Let's go around and introduce ourselves," said Janet, the HOA president. "I'm Janet, house number 1, Linda Chen, house number 3, Bob Williams, house number 4, Carmen Rodriguez, house number 6. It continued around the circle. Houses 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. They skipped from 4 to 6 like it was the most natural thing in the world. I stood up. "Hi, I'm Sarah. My daughter Maya and I just moved into house number 5. Silence. Complete, suffocating silence. "I'm sorry, dear," Janet said, checking her clipboard. "There is no house number 5 on Ash Lane." "But we live there. 1247 Ash Lane." "Our addresses go 1245, then 1249. Always have." I looked around the room. Every face was blank, polite, confused, like I was speaking a foreign language. Maya tugged on my shirt. "Mom, let's go." That night, I paced the living room while Maya watched cartoons. I pulled out my phone and Googled 1247 Ash Lane. Nothing. I tried the county assessor's website. Our address didn't exist. I called the realtor. The number was disconnected. The next morning, making coffee, I noticed something odd. The family photos on the refrigerator, Maya's school pictures, a photo of us at the beach, Maya's face was slightly blurred, like the camera had moved just as the shutter clicked. I told myself it was just bad lighting. A few days later, Maya was playing with her toys when I worked on my laptop. I noticed the TV was on, showing static. I didn't remember turning it on. "Maya, did you turn on the TV?" "No, Mom." I grabbed the remote and changed the channel. The static cleared, revealing security camera footage. Black and white, grainy. It showed our living room, Maya on the floor, me on the couch. Right now. Live. I unplugged the TV. The image didn't change. That afternoon, I climbed the pull-down ladder to the attic, flashlight in hand. The space was cramped, filled with shadows and dust motes dancing in the light beam. In the corner, I found a leather journal. The pages were yellowed, the handwriting shaky. I opened it and nearly dropped the flashlight. Day 127 in the house. Sarah still doesn't believe me. The house is forgetting us. First the mail, then the neighbors, now the photographs. Soon there will be no evidence we ever existed. My blood ran cold. The handwriting was mine. But I'd never written those words. I'd never been here 127 days. I flipped through more pages, dozens of entries, all in my handwriting, documenting months of life in this house, life I didn't remember. The house feeds on presence, on the reality of existing. It keeps us here in this non-space between addresses, slowly erasing us from the world. I burst into Maya's room that night. She was asleep, clutching her stuffed rabbit. I shook her gently. "Maya, wake up! We need to leave!" "What? Why?" she asked groggily. "Something's wrong with this house. We need to go. But this is our home." The way she said it, so certain, so final, made my skin crawl. The next morning, I packed our things frantically. Maya sat at the kitchen table, eating cereal, watching me with those two knowing eyes. "You can't leave, Mom." "What did you say?" "The house won't let you." That wasn't Maya talking. The voice was hers, but the words came from somewhere else. I loaded our suitcases into the Honda. Maya climbed into the passenger seat without argument. I started the engine and pulled out of the driveway. Left onto Ash Lane, right onto Maple Street. Left onto Highway 94. I drove for what felt like hours. The street stretched ahead, familiar landmarks passing by. I checked the GPS. We were making progress. 10 miles, 20 miles, 30 miles from Ash Lane. "Mom, are we almost home?" Maya asked. "We're going to Grandma's house, remember?" "But when are we going home?" I looked up. We were pulling into our driveway. The same driveway I'd left hours ago. I tried again and again. East, west, north, south, every road led back to Ash Lane. That evening, I sat on the couch staring at the family photos. Maya's face was now completely blurred, just a flesh-colored smudge where her features should be. I called my mother. She said, "Sarah, I don't have a daughter named Sarah. The next night, I opened the refrigerator. Empty. But I just went grocery shopping yesterday. Didn't I? The phone rang. I answered. "You're forgetting," said a voice filled with static. "Who is this?" "You're forgetting yourself." The voice was mine, from the future, or the past. Time doesn't work right in house number 5. I went to check on Maya. She was empty. Her bed was made, her stuffed animals arranged on the windowsill, but no Maya. "Maya! Maya, where are you?" I shouted. I searched every room, every closet, every corner. She was gone. But worse than that, I was starting to forget her name. I sat in the dark staring at the TV.
Static. Always static now. I found more journals in the attic. Dozens of them. Different handwriting, different names, but the same story. The house collects people, keeps them, forgets them. "Sarah," whispered a voice from the TV. "What do you want?" I asked. "Welcome home." The next morning, I made coffee. 1 cup. Why did I used to make 2? I couldn't remember why I came here, running from something, someone, but the details were fuzzy, like trying to remember a dream. I walked to the mailbox. Wait. We have a mailbox now. Small, metal, with the number 5 painted in black. Inside, there's a single letter. No return address. My name, written in my own handwriting. "Stop fighting it. You belong here now. We all do." At the monthly HOA meeting, I sat in the circle with the other neighbors. "Let's go around and introduce ourselves," Janet said. "I'm Janet, house number 1. Linda Chen, house number 3. Bob Williams, house number 4. Sarah Martinez, house number 5. Carmen Rodriguez, house number 6. No one questioned it. House number 5 had always existed. I had always lived here. Now, we have a new family moving in next week, the Johnsons. They'll be taking house number 7. But house number 7 already had residents, the Williamses. Except, no, that was house number 4. House number 7 was empty, had always been empty. "Sarah, since you're closest, would you mind welcoming them to the neighborhood?" Of course. I knew what I had to do, what I always done. A moving truck pulled up to house number 7 the next day. A young couple got out, David and Jessica Johnson. They looked exactly like I must have looked when I first arrived, hopeful, naive. "It's perfect, just like the photos," Jessica said to David. I walked over with a plate of cookies, store-bought from the same brand Janet always brought to meetings. "Hi there, I'm Sarah from house number 5. Welcome to the neighborhood." "Thanks, I'm David. This is Jessica. We're so excited to be here." The realtor said this was a really quiet street. "Oh, it is. Very quiet. You'll love it here." I handed them the cookies and smiled. The same smile Mrs. Chen had given me. Polite, knowing, predatory. "Great, we're in house number 7. Actually, I think there might be some confusion. There is no house number 7 on Ash Lane." "But we're standing right here," Jessica said. I checked my clipboard. Our addresses go 1249, Then 12:53. Always have. I watched the confusion dawn on their faces, the same confusion I'd felt, the same fear. "But we have the keys," David protested. "I'm sure it's just a paperwork error. Why don't you come to tonight's HOA meeting? We can sort it all out." I walked back to house number 5. My house. My real house. The only house I'd ever lived in. I'd forgotten about Maya. Forgotten about my old life. Forgotten about everything before Ash Lane. That evening, I sat on the couch, watching the Johnsons through the window. They were arguing with the movers, pointing at their house, checking their phones. The TV turned on by itself. Static. Then the security camera feed. But now it showed the Johnsons in their living room, unpacking boxes, unaware they were being watched. House number 7 was feeding now, growing stronger. Soon there would be house number 8, then 9, then 10. Ash Lane was expanding. Now I stand on my front porch every evening looking at the perfect suburban street. Streetlights casting warm pools of light, identical houses stretching into the darkness. I can't remember why I'd ever wanted to leave. Through their window, I can see Jessica Johnson sitting on her couch, staring at the TV. Static. She looks confused, scared. She's just beginning to understand. Tomorrow, I'll welcome the Johnsons properly. I'll help them understand how things work on Ash Lane, how to be good neighbors, people who belong here, people who will never leave.
If you're reading this, if you somehow found this account, listen to me. Don't come looking for Ash Lane. Don't try to find house number 5. Because once you see it, it sees you too. And there's always room for one more house on our street.